What is happening, folks? I am your man, Lawrence. Faithful, welcome in. Welcome to Platform 246. Thank you so much for stepping up onto the platform. Please hit that like button. If you are new, welcome again. If you're not new, welcome your ass back. Thank you so much for having me. Be here to talk uh, about the two most important people on our team today in our entire organization. They have issues with one another. If you ask me, I'm not 100% sure, but I'm damn sure. I'm damn near close. So again, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and if you enjoy it, we're on the push to 400 subscribers. We're trying to get there before Halloween, and I want you to help me do that. We just dropped a video about one James Richard Garoppolo a little while ago on the channel, and we haven't dropped a video about Kyle, but we are going to talk about him now. These two do not get along, if you ask me. And please make sure you leave a comment. Tell me how you feel about it. We also have a poll right over to the right. Do you think that these two have a good enough relationship to ensure that we have a winning season? Keep that winning culture for the 49ers. We're going to talk about that. We also can talk about merchandise. The shirts are coming, folks. Holla if you hear me. You know what I'm talking about? Check it out. Nice and smooth. Platform 246. So subscribe. It goes all the way down. Subscribe to the channel. Really appreciate it. Like I said, we're going to push to 400 subscribers, and we're going to talk some Niners now. James and Kyle. Today, Kyle Shanahan had his press conference, which generally actually happens on Friday, but now Saturday because we are on a different schedule, you know, being Monday Night Football and whatnot. And he talked a little bit really just about the team and injuries primarily. The best things came from Kyle's press conference back on Thursday. You know, when they asked him whether or not he got a chance to see the video of James saying, "Your plays suck, man," as he walked up the field. Now, that is, by the way, the videos have all come out since then. Okay? Everyone's been able to put it together, splice it together. What's going on, Romello, my man? What's happening to you, brother? Thank you for coming in. Hit that like button for me if you don't mind. Share the video around if you can. I don't know how, everybody's system and things work, but yeah, we're talking to Jimmy and Kyle today. Specifically the other day, Kyle Shanahan saying that he didn't get a chance to see what happened between the interception and Jimmy walking up the field, which was him saying, "Your plays suck, man." He actually laughed about it, smiled, as Kyle Shanahan only can, and said, "I don't even know what we're talking about this. It's silly." Because he's arrogant, because he's condescending. And that's one of the reasons. Because he has horrible people skills. Because he's a nerd. But I'm a nerd. But I have outstanding people skills. So I don't know what his problem is. But I do know that sometimes does tend to go together. He has horrible people skills. He doesn't know how to talk to folks. He doesn't know how to treat folks. So, the only thing he can do is really give off smart aleck types of answers, whether the questions are good questions or not. And they asked him, did he see it? And he called them silly for asking him that type of question. And that's the types of things that I'm sure he does to James every single day in practice. Jimmy makes a mistake, and Kyle probably looks at him or says things to him like, "Are you kidding me, James?" He says probably the same things to James that we all do as fans sitting at home watching the games. So then, of course, Friday, after that, after getting a chance to hear from D'Amico Ryans and Mr. Forrester, our special teams coach, James comes to the podium. Now, did he take responsibility like a man for the things that he said walking up that field? Hell no, he didn't. And folks, please, again, hit that poll right over to the side. Do you think that we are a good enough, close enough team, especially with our two leaders, to actually have a winning season and a winning culture? But did Jimmy, James, as he's actually really known as, did he take the time to say, you know what, yes, it was in the heat of battle, we say some things. Nope, he said that, though. He just didn't admit to what he said. He said in the heat of battle, you said a lot of things, and he was ready for it. And I hope that they would have caught that as opposed to some of the other things that I said walking off the field. But I don't know how to read lips. Motherfucker, what? Well, there was no mirror in front of you, James, although you did look at a phone. But you know what? You said the shit, man. Come on, man. Come on. It came out of your mouth, Jimmy. And we all saw it. We don't know every word you said there, but the things that were very clear and that everyone can see, especially after you threw an interception into triple coverage. And please, Faithful, stop saying that it was double coverage. Two people hit Tyshawn at the same time, and the third person caught the ball. That's triple coverage. So after James throws into triple coverage, he walks up the field saying, plays suck, man. Who's running up the plays? Romello Ball says, how come we never see Jimmy play against the defense in practice? But we've seen Prey do it all the time. What's the problem going? Well, they don't want to show us. Good question there. Excellent question, actually, Romello. And that brings up a great point from James's press conference that I watched actually yesterday. Again, Romello says, how come we never see Jimmy in practice? We always see Trey. Well, because as the NFL knows, and as James knows, the way you practice is the way you're going to play. So what has been the overarching tone and theme of Jimmy Garoppolo in 49ers practice? Kyle Shanahan being extremely frustrated. That's first and foremost. Secondly, interceptions, missed throws, high, low, anywhere it can go, right? So in the press conference on Friday, after Jimmy said he couldn't read his own lips, he then turned around and in that very same vein, with the question you asked about, practice and things like that, he says out his mouth, I am a firm believer. This is a quote. I am a firm believer that you practice the way you play, or you play the way that you practice. And that's clear. Because what have all of us faithful remember from Jimmy, from old James back in the day? 5 interceptions in a row in training camp. Now, we went to the Super Bowl that year, and everybody tries to say that it meant nothing. No, it did mean something. It meant that he threw an interception in the Super Bowl to a linebacker likely, and that we didn't win. So, I mean, you're right, James. You do practice the way that you play and play the way that you practice. And you practice like a chump. You throw interception after interception to Fred. That's why Fred Warner is so good, because he plays against Jimmy. That's why he can catch the ball so well. It's because he gets as many reps at catching the ball in practice every day as Brandon Ayuk does. Because his quarterback can't get the ball past the linebacker level of a defense, at least not accurately. And even then, there's something that's left to be desired. Pardon me if you can hear this 1990s stupid-ass music. They're playing in my building today, or right now as I attempt to stream, of course. But again, Kyle and James don't get along. And the first reason is because Jimmy just wants to sling it. Kyle, unfortunately, as I said, is very arrogant and is a person who wants everything to go the way that he wants it to go. He wants everything perfect. He doesn't like, it seems, for the quarterback to really ad-lib or go off script at any time, which is funny when he drafted Trey Lance, a mobile quarterback, a quarterback who can run. So James, on the other hand, he just likes to wing it. He doesn't like to study. And that's the video I had. Does he care about the 49ers? Does he even care about football? Because what I take Jimmy Garoppolo as, James Richard Garoppolo as, is as the leader of the frat house. James reminds me of the guy at the frat house of the 6 or 7 year senior that everybody looks up to in college, in the dorm, on the floor. Everybody looks up to, but they have no idea why. And you can tell that when you hear the players talk about him. For instance, George Kittle, who will say he gets the guys fired up. What kind of shit is that? I can get the guys fired up. Trust and believe me. Hello, Miss Tia. Welcome in. Welcome to Platform 246. Miss Tia, it's coming. Okay. Hit that like button for us, folks. The merch will be coming soon. It'll even get better than this. This is just a prototype. Just a prototype. Watch my marijuana. It's just a prototype, but it goes all the way down. So we got our platform 246, our t-shirts. If you're interested in a t-shirt, leave a damn comment or follow me on Twitter at BamBamLLD. I'll get you one. I promise I will. But Jimmy doesn't necessarily care about the team, I don't believe. I don't think he's 100% committed to football. And he doesn't take any responsibility or accountability for anything that he does or doesn't do. Now, he said that you practice the way that you play, and I fully agree with that because he plays and practices both like garbage. And Kyle Shanahan, every day during practice, has to watch that consistently over and over again. A quarterback who cannot seem to get better, who cannot seem to grasp his offense, who cannot make the same types of throws as even Matt Ryan could. Do you all know that Matt Ryan was like apple pie to Kyle Shanahan? He was in love with Matt Ryan because he may not have been the fastest player on the field. He may have been, a paper mache cardboard box, honestly, in the actual pocket, but he knew where to go with the ball. And if he didn't know where to go with the ball, he could find an open receiver and he can make all the throws on the field. James cannot make all the throws on the field. He's also wildly inconsistent. But he told Kyle, I just want to sling it. This felt like 2017 when we could just go. No, you can't just go because you're bad at football. How are you doing, Ms. Tia, if you're still here in the building today on the platform? How's your weekend going? Kyle Shanahan spoke today, of course, because the team is on their way, this is the last, excuse me, not on their way because we have a home game, but they're on the way to the hotel, to the team hotel, I guess, to congregate up until the time that we get ready to play the Sheep on Monday. And how much time do you think that Jimmy and Kyle are going to spend together in the team hotel in Santa Clara? No more than they have to, because they don't like each other. So again, when asked today, or not today, but yesterday, whether or not he said, your plays suck, man, as he walked off the field after he threw an interception into triple coverage. And something that a lot of us faithful aren't talking about, which would have made Kyle hate him even more, is the fact that he threw that ball and nearly got Debo hurt. See if we can do better than that, Miss Tia, after this stream. But he nearly got Debo hurt in the interim. Got him running straight into two players. So he walks up the field and says, your play sucked because I decided to throw into triple coverage and I got intercepted. You should have called a better play. Just like he should have called a better play when you moonwalked out of the back of the end zone. And Kyle Shanahan took responsibility for both of those plays, the interception and the safety, saying that he put him in a tough position. Instead of saying, well, my quarterback is average. If it had been anyone else back there with any skill level, you would see what we'd be making, which would be our way onto the playoffs. But this is what Jimmy had to say today, apparently yesterday, once again, in regards to whether or not he said, Kyle, what the fuck are you doing? Your play sucked. And before we do that, get into that, who do you think Faithful asked, if you haven't seen it already, this question? You know who asked this question. None other than Grant Cohn. So thank you, Grant, for just for this.
In the game, and appeared like you said, your plays suck, man. Did you say that?
I've heard about this clip. Actually, yeah, we were talking about it yesterday. I don't know. I can't.
And who is we? Who is we were talking about it yesterday? You and who? You, Mike, and George.
I can't read lips. I'm sure I've said a lot worse things.
Oh, and Kyle with a J for his last name, not the S for the last name. The Fearsome Foursome, the Four Musketeers.
On the field and that, so I'm glad they caught that rather than something else. But
so there was a clip of you in the game, and appeared like you said, Your plays suck, man. Did you say that?
I've heard about this clip. Actually, yeah,
I'm
we
just
were
saying,
talking
Mr.
about it
Tia.
yesterday. I don't know. I can't read lips. I'm sure I've said a lot worse things on the field than that. So I'm glad they caught that rather than something else. But I'm not sure exactly what I was saying, but it is what it is.
I guess the real question is there friction between
What? Come on, nigga. I'm not sure exactly what I was saying, but it is what it is. Did you really? Is that really his answer? I'm not sure exactly what I was saying.
But I'm not sure exactly what I was saying, but I can't read lips.
I can't read
I'm
lips.
sure I've said a lot
Your
worse
own?
things on the field than that. So I'm glad they caught that rather than something else. But I'm not sure exactly what I was saying, but it is what it is.
I guess the real question is so there was a clip.
Oh, I know what you were saying,
I've said a
James.
lot worse things on the field than that.
You were saying your plays suck, man, because you threw a goddamn interception into triple coverage. That means that there were 3 players there from the other team and 1 player there from your team, whom you almost got injured on that play.
So I'm glad they caught that rather than something else. But I'm not sure exactly what I was saying, but it is what it is.
I'm not sure exactly what you were doing, James. At that time, I'm not sure what you were thinking in that moment. As a matter of fact, I'm not sure what you were thinking. I'm not sure what you were doing. You was fucking up and looking to point blame somewhere else, just like the leader that you are.
I guess the real question is there friction between you and Kyle Shanahan? Or is that just something?
Abso-fucking-lutely. Abso-freaking-lutely. There will be now and there will be forever. I'm forever faithful that they will never like each other and that there will forever be friction between Jimmy Blah Mid Garoppolo and Kyle, I'm the man, Shanahan.
You say in the
That's his new name. Kyle, I'm the man, Shanahan.
No, yeah, I mean, you say a lot of things in the heat of battle that I hope people don't hear, but no, me and Kyle are cool. We really are. We've been through, a lot of different types of seasons, this being no different, but we're early on in the season still. So we got to, as a team, find our identity. Me and Kyle obviously just keep working and getting on the same page more and more, but we've been through this.
Wait, what? Keep working and getting on the same page more and more. Motherfucker, you've been here for 5 years. You and Kyle should be lockstep. Y'all in different books. That's the problem. Amen, Miss Tia. Amen. Me and Kyle get on the same page further. You have been here since October 30th, 2017. You guys were on the same page 5 weeks into the season, into your time together, when you were 5-0. What in the hell is this shit talking, bullshit walking player talking about right now? What is he saying? Get on what page more? You have been here for 5 years.
Before, and it's a long process.
Yep. It's a long and they'll go to sleep right on target. That's the best thing he does is adjust his sleeves and wipe his brow. Get on the same page. Y'all not reading the same book. You're reading fiction and he's reading nonfiction. Look at that face.
A clip of you in the game and it appeared like you said.
Look at that face. Face, this is the most slappable face ever. Most slappable face ever. At least in my opinion, that's for sure. He looks like the most uncomfortable. He doesn't look like a leader. And I'm sorry, Faithful. I was in love with James at one point. I really was. And then he started worrying about Subway. He started worrying about what George and Kyle, and not Kyle Shanahan, and Mike McGlinchey think, and how much they can hug. Remember, the boss says he's going to be looking into that. Looking into what, brother? Let me know. And folks, please hit the poll. Subscribe to the channel. We're on the way to 400 subscribers. Trying to get there by Halloween. Halloween was a great time for us 5 years ago. I'm trying to get to 400 subscribers by Halloween. He's trying to get back to the same play style that he had Halloween 5 years ago. but he still is trying to get on the same page with Kyle Shanahan. Those are the words that just came out of his own mouth. In the 5th season, how the fuck did he take us to the Super Bowl when he and Kyle are not on the same page? You want to know why? That's because we went to the Super Bowl and he came with us. That's what happened. He had a chance to take us to the Super Bowl last season, but he did a tap dance and pirouette in the backfield and got sacked by 80, that fucking loser in LA 99. That's the truth. So today, his coach got to speak. His last words for us before we get ready for Inglewood, up to no good, coming to our hood, and we're going to beat their ass on Monday Night Football. We're going to embarrass them, despite our quarterback and coach, because the rest of our team is just that good. So let's hear what Kyle had to say.
I kind of came out of nowhere Wednesday that his knee flared up, kept him out of 2 practices, and is that?
Right now, he's speaking about Javon Kinlaw being kept out of practice over the last 2 days due to a knee injury that we didn't know was there. It looks like it's a flare-up from his previous injury, though.
Just soreness from last year?
Just flaring up on him. Yeah.
Is that a concern? I mean, I guess it is a concern, but I mean, is it a serious concern that could hinder him throughout the year?
Yeah, anytime someone has something, it's a concern. It's kept him out this week, so hopefully he'll be able to go.
I believe Eric Armstead and Javon Kinlaw both were at practice today, which was just after this interview with Kyle Shanahan took place. So they did practice today. Javon Kinlaw did not practice prior to that, and we know Eric Armstead didn't either. So it's an opportunity that we can have one or both of them available for this Monday's game against the Rams. Had they not practiced today, it would likely neither one of them would have been able to go on Monday.
I don't know. I'm just look.
And we do all walk through today, but he looked good.
How nice is it having Bobby Turner back, and how did that come about?
It's awesome having Bobby back.
It is awesome having Bobby back. Clap it up for Bobby Turner. Hopefully he can get into Kyle's head, get Kyle's head out of his own ass, and help us fix the running game as quickly as possible, because we sorely need it now that James is back at quarterback. Kyle's mortal enemy.
It's been weird not having him. He told me last year, he was very clear, Kyle, I'm not retiring. I'm just taking a year off to get my surgeries, get healthy. Been talking to him the last month or so, and his wife. He was ready to come back. We saw him in Denver. It's awesome to get him out here. Got here 2 days ago, and it's been great having him around.
Is he doing the same stuff he always did, or is he doing new things? I mean, so there already is a running backs coach, so I'm just curious, how does he fold back in?
Just helping in every way. I mean, Bobby he's been around a lot. He's been around about 80 years of coaching. I think it's 45. But no, we got a great running back.
Boom. Romello says, I didn't got Kyle over the top of it. He got caught committing a crime and still said he didn't do it. He's afraid to do the time. He's not a man. He can't stand up in front of everybody and just say, I need to play better. And Kyle, I'm sure, hates that, because his young 22-year-old quarterback, that's all he said. I need to play better. I need to play better. And he was able to say every single play that he wanted to play better the next time he had the opportunity from the Chicago game. But James, we all the way home. He can't take any responsibility, no responsibility for anything that he does, because he sucks. I'm sorry.
Coach and Anthony.
It's just the truth.
Anthony, who coached Bobby, so their relationship is great. They got a lot of love for each other, and I just like Bobby coming around and getting on everybody on every little detail the way he does. So it's not just the runners, it's the receivers, it's the quarterbacks, it's everybody. And
quarterbacks.
I think everyone's glad to have Bobby in here.
Sometimes having a coach like that, it's good for them also. Like it seemed like for Johnny, to be back in this was good for their mental health.
Yeah, I see it a lot with those guys. I mean, you get used to doing something for a long time. I think it happens to probably a lot of people in a lot of lines of work. Everyone looks forward to vacation, and everyone looks forward to getting time off. And I think a lot of people look forward to retirement. But after you do that, you realize that that's something that you loved. And I've seen that. I mean, definitely, you knew it was going to happen with Bobby. See that with my dad a lot. It took him a while. Yeah, I feel with Johnny, and I think once other things happen, you realize you get an appreciation for it more. That I don't do this because I have to. I do it because I really love it, and that's what makes those guys so good.
Bobby's been such a staple for you and your dad. What was it like not having him here for that 6 months or so?
Yeah, it was really weird for me. I have little things I always mess with Bobby on.
You see how Kyle tried to throw out there? Oh, it was really weird for me not having Bobby Turner around for the last 6 to 8 months to a year, so that we can all say, oh, okay, so that's why things have been messed up and we're playing like shit on offense. That's why they're 1-2. And then when the sheep come into our house and stomp a mud hole in us because he and his quarterback don't get along at all, what is he going to say then?
Anytime I have a awkward time in a meeting, I just make a Bobby T joke or call him out on something, and we kind of just make everyone laugh. And not having him there has been awkward. I always start every meeting addressing them, stuff like that. So just things that you get used to. That for me, it started for all those years in Washington. I was with them, and then same thing with Atlanta and being here with them the last 5 years. So it's really nice to get back.
When you look at the running backs that you have, are Mack and Coleman and Mason, are they all ready to go Monday night if you need any of those guys to back up Jeff?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, Faithful, that's my question too. Do you think we'll finally get a chance to see more of Jordan Mason in the run game? Are we going to be seeing Tevin Coleman all night long, getting 2 yards in a cloud of dirt? Nine by nature in the building. What's going on? Let's get a couple of these comments up while Kyle just gives us a one-word answer to the question of whether or not Jordan Mason and Tevin Coleman are ready. Debo, that like button. Bo said, whatever you got to do, just don't Jimmy G the like button. That means miss it. That means go for it and miss it. Oh, shit. That means get ready to throw an interception or round the back of the end zone instead of throwing the ball away. John says, yo, let's move. Can't even see it. Yo, like the shirt. Don't like Kyle, though.
Jimmy was
Yes,
talking the other day about an identity.
I'm starting to dislike Kyle myself. Absolutely. Starting to dislike Kyle myself. Just a little bit. He can be difficult to deal with, folks. Please hit that like button.
Identity.
They're both
You look
professional
back at
liars.
the way they played the Rams the first
100%
game
correct.
last year. That's your ideal identity.
100% correct.
40+ rushes.
They are professional liars. The both of them.
Pretty much helps everything, doesn't it?
They're
Yeah,
very
I think
good
when
at
you look at our team, when we've won the most and won the most consistently,
it's funny because to me, I think that they're very much alike. They both have an extremely high opinion of themselves. Kyle is just, that's where they differ, is Kyle's not as much of a politician or a diplomatic person as Jimmy is. And that's because Kyle is the CEO. He is the boss. He's the owner. He's fucking Bezos, right? But even though Jed York is, Kyle's the CEO. Kyle's the boss. Jed York is is the owner. So, he acts that way all the time to everyone. Jimmy, on the other hand, he's a slick son of a bitch. That's what it is. He's a slick Chicagoan. Slick Italiano, I guess. I don't know. But he tries to hide, and he's probably a mother effer, that Jimmy Garoppolo. When he doesn't care, when nobody's around, or when he just pops his top, as we all do every once in a while, like he did after he threw that interception and near season-ending double smack sandwich play to Debo. And he walked up the field and said, "Your play sucked, man," and then was unable to read his own lips. They're a match made in heaven, but it seems more like a match made in
is
hell.
when we've ran the ball the best.
Kyle talking about when we ran the ball the best. Yeah, when we had a good running back, Kyle, to be honest, and when everybody didn't have to stack the box with 8 players because they know that we can't throw, that your quarterback that you hate cannot throw the ball. Not effectively, efficiently, and consistently. No, he cannot. No, he cannot. So because you even kept him, I would much rather see Brock Purdy. See how Kyle treats him. Because he doesn't have a history with Brock Purdy. History of consistent letdowns. like he has with Jimmy Garoppolo. Just like I have with Jimmy Garoppolo. Jimmy Garoppolo has broken his heart just as many times, more times than he's broken mine. Excellent quote by Nine by Nature. I don't know if y'all can see that. Let me remove this. Even demons look like angels from afar. Jimmy and Kyle ain't fooling anyone. Not at all.
Over. I think that's what we've done when we've always won. So there's other ways you got to be able to win, which I think we found to do that.
Please
but,
hit that like button.
that's the
Subscribe
thing
to
we
the
set
channel
out to
if you're
do.
new. We're pushing for 400 subscribers.
Jimmy this week. We're
Despite
talking about
Kyle.
needing more practice. Do you see those incremental steps going on throughout the week?
And the shirts are
Yeah,
coming,
I mean,
folks.
it's not just always going right. It's always up and down. It's play to play, but that's what the whole season is. That's what the season
Leave a
is every
comment.
year. No different than this. You got
If you're looking for a shirt, if you're looking for some merch, leave a comment. Follow us on Twitter at BamBamLLD. Either one will work.
to find out how to win games as you improve throughout the year, and that's what we're trying to do. No team to me should be where they're supposed to be at the beginning. You got to make sure you improve as you go through it, but you also got to find ways to win as you do that.
I think last time when you guys had the Rams here, soreness from last year.
I just make a Bobby T joke or call him out.
An
I
identity.
understand.
When you look back
Yeah.
at the way
Monday night if you need any of those guys to back up, Jeff.
Yes,
That was in response to
what we've done as you improve throughout the year, and that's what we're trying to do. No team to me should be where they're supposed to be at the beginning.
Is he not the most miserable man on the planet? Or in the universe or on the world or in the world, whatever. What's the commercial? The most interesting man in the world. The most interesting man in the world. He's the most miserable man on the planet. He could be 2-1, 1-2, 3-0. It doesn't matter. He's going to act like that. Why? Because he still has that albatross. Those handcuffs on him at all times. He's handcuffed. He's like a black man. He has something over his shoulder non-stop, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year for 5 years straight in the name of James Richard Garoppolo.
You got to make sure you improve as you go through it,
Who does not improve at all.
but you also got to find ways to win as you do that.
But he just finds ways to win, though. I'll give him that. He just wins. He's 1-2 right now, but he does just win.
I think last time when you guys had the Rams here, you beat them pretty well. Debo was celebrating with a big neck
My apologies. He didn't play in the first game. That's fine. Actually, he's 0-1 right now. He's 0-1 right now. It's James.
necklace, the game changer chain, I believe what it was called, and then it kind of vanished. So what did you think of that chain and whatever happened to it?
I think I've answered this, and I was not a big fan of the chain.
Let's stop it right there. First of all, he starts with he needs to take lessons from D'Amico Ryans. If you get a chance, not right now because we're streaming, but we're live. And much love to you. Thank you so much. Subscribe to the channel. We're pushing for 400 by Halloween. Don't make me let my kids down. It's rough on this YouTube game, but still. But anyway, Kyle, my man, yeah. Bullshit, Kyle. I call bullshit on whatever you're about to say. But he was just asked, Kyle Shanahan, how he felt about the picture that went famous with Debo. Y'all remember it, smiling with that chain last year when we were stomping the dirt, the piss out of the Los Angeles Rams last year. In all, just like we're going to be this weekend, in all red, he was in. It just went together. Chain bought allegedly was $2 million, a chain that Jason Verrett bought, and Kyle Shanahan hated because that's our lame coach, as my son called him. My son Trey called him today. He's just simply, he's lame, and that could be some of what's hampering our offense. He's not Mike McDaniel. He's not some of the people who coached under him, who are just a little bit more hip. He likes Lil Wayne. They might like the baby or Little Baby. He named his son Carter after Lil Wayne, who needs to retire, who's 40 years old like me. They probably like Little Baby, Dirk. That's who the Green Bay coach and the Cardinals coach, that's what they like.
I mean, I think
Because he didn't like us having a chain, a celebration chain, like the college kids do.
anything gimmicky and college-like is kind of
Gimmicky. Hold on, motherfucker. I like wrestling, okay? I'm a wrestling fan. There's nothing wrong with a good gimmick. Nothing at all. Nothing at all wrong with a good gimmick. It pumps your team up. You know what that chain did, Faithful? That chain made every player on the team, including Tyshawn, want to earn it. When they get that Instagram moment, even Williams, somebody like that, Trent Williams, he's in his 30s, but you see he's all over Instagram. I'm sure he would love to power black pancake some son of a bitch into the turf, and then they be running that chain up and down his neck. And they are taking pictures, and he gets caught on the sideline, and he gets the pose. He's a Crip. He's a gang member. I'm sure Trent Williams would have had any problem wearing that chain and getting on Instagram either, and Twitter, and going viral, just like Debo. But you know who had a problem with it? Kyle. Just like he has a problem with an explosive, nice offense.
Lame to me, but Jason Verrett got it for
I'm sorry, what?
the chain. I mean, I didn't think anything gimmicky and college-like is kind of lame to me, but
Gimmicky and college-like is lame to him. No, motherfucker, you're lame. We have some lame, intelligent, overthinking coach. And none about nature says little baby and the baby should be slapping though. Absolutely. Absolutely. It bumps in my cars. Kyle just mad because he won't be able to wear the chain. Yeah, there's no dog in Kyle. Kyle has no dog. Amen. Salute to United for that. Kyle has no dog in him. We know he's a scared little puppy. If not a pussy cat, Kyle is much more like a pussy cat than a dog.
he's like as cool of the guys I know. So
Jason Verrett wasn't even playing, I think, or some shit. Spent a whole bunch of money on this chain, and Kyle Shanahan poo-pooing all over it. Why? He's only 42 years old. I know if I had that chain, you know how many pictures I put on my Facebook and my Twitter? You know, putting it around my kids' necks. If I was Kyle, that's what Kyle needs to do. He needs to get his son Carter and put that chain around his son's neck and put some pictures on Instagram. Live a little bit. He looks like he's not a millionaire coaching the motherfucking 49ers. Look at this man. You think you got problems, Kyle? You got some stresses? You can't let your players have a chain. Make them feel like they're playing a kid's game and not sitting in biology class with you.
And the players thought it was cool. So
You're not cool though.
didn't tell them no or anything, but I was really hoping we didn't use it in the wrong way because I think we're more professional than that.
Always.
But the time that he did choose it,
That
I
right there.
can't lie, it didn't come off that bad. So I've liked their decision making on it.
And this is to the 49ers stupid media outside of Grant Cohn and maybe a couple of others, maybe one other. And I hate Grant Cohn, just for the record. But, he says, but the one time that they did use it, because it was against the Rams and Sean McVay, who I hate, it didn't come off that bad. And they all chuckle. Kyle, you made a funny joke, Kyle. Kyle made it funny. And saying, Kyle, what are you doing? The shit that I would ask Kyle Shanahan if I had the opportunity would be legendary. And it would be completely respectful.
I don't know if it's gone. I hope it is. But I trust those guys to handle it right, and they haven't let me down so far.
But
Time's
why?
gonna have something.
And have great communication out there.
If it's gone, I hope it is.
Why does he hope it's gone? Why does he hope the chain is gone? Good question by that 49ers media person, though, just to show us really who our coach is. And he said the word lame. I thought it was lame. Why? Because you're a biology teacher or you're a football coach in the NFL. He thought it was lame. No, you saying that and acting like that and looking like that and not smiling is lame.
But I trust those guys to handle it right, and they haven't let me down
He
so
doesn't even
far.
want to take chances with letting his players barely wear some plate jewelry on the sideline. They ain't charge you for
really
it.
close very quickly and had great communication out there. How is it that they were able to do that so quickly?
I mean, I think one, Gibbs played a
I
lot of
agree.
football. He's a real
Should've
smart
kept Bud.
player.
You
I was
should've
with him in
kept Bud.
Cleveland for a year and got to get to know him then. And
His whole philosophy is
I don't
whack.
know how
His
many
whole
picks he had
thought
that year, but he's
process is whack.
had a ton. I think he's had like
He's
30
a
in his
coach.
career. So he's a guy who's always been athletic and talented, but he understands football. That was 8 years ago. So he's gotten a lot more reps since then. He's played in a lot of schemes, so he's seen a ton of stuff.
If I was speaking over, you weren't able to hear. He's talking about Tyshawn Gibson right now. Why he's played so well and why he gets along so well and communicates so well with Talanoa Hufanga.
So when you have a vet like that who's been around, is like that naturally, and you got someone like Huff who just always wants to learn, always talking ball, always trying to find an edge on something. I think those guys enjoy talking to each other.
How's Brock Purdy progressing on the scout team, and would he be ready to go if necessary?
Yeah.
Son of a bitch, Grant. Grant just can't. He just can't let it go. He just can't be respectful. He can't be professional, even though it's a completely fine question. You know that he's asking that question in case James gets injured, needs to get pulled. Grant gets asked another question. So Grant has asked 3 questions in his press conference. 2 of them, what was the first 2? I can't even remember. But he shouldn't have asked them. And then this here, he asked, is Brock Purdy ready to go? Is Brock Purdy ready to replace James, who you hate, who the whole world knows you cannot stand, and you probably never wanted in the first place?
All these guys got to be ready. But what the fortunate thing for Brock is that he's getting more reps. The 3 never gets really reps. You give him 1 or 2 a period in scout team, but Brock's got a ton of them now, and really like how he's been handling himself.
Release need on scout team playing Cooper Cup.
You got Corey
I think
Davis in the building. What's going
he
on,
played 18
Corey? How
this
you
week.
doing?
I think he mixed it up. It depended on the period, but it wasn't. He was cup at some periods, but he also was playing 18's role also.
What was it about his scout team performance that was so good?
Just how hard he goes. I mean, he did everything.
Excellent question by Romello, or actually statement. I think this is his last year. He's been here for 6 years. It's been too long. It's time to put up or shut up. It's time for Kyle to stop making excuses for Jimmy. Stop using Jimmy as the excuse as to why we still not where we need to be. And either get us the ring or get your ass on. None by nature says, how can they handle the chain wrongfully though? Things that make you go, How can they handle it? I don't know. Maybe celebrate with it too early because he's not going to try to put the game away. He's going to try to salt the red real slow, and then the team's going to come back on us like in the Super Bowl. So they put the chain on. We were up 20-10 in the Super Bowl, and then at the end of the night, he's like, God damn it, I wish they would have put that chain on. That's how. I think that's how. And, of course, Grant with he's not throwing the softballs. He's throwing the Major League baseballs, for real, for real. And Corey Davis in the building. Sir, how are you? Hopefully you're doing well. And Romello says he probably could have saved Trey from having an accident. We'll never know. But we'll know next time. We'll know next season. We'll know soon. This year is going to fly by. This year has flown by, folks. I've been on YouTube with all of you for a year. It doesn't even seem like that. But it's been a great year. It's been a great stream. So thank you for coming through, every single person who has. Look out for the shirts. They will be on the way. The Platform 246 merch, coffee cups, whatever the lady on Twitter got, I'm going to have the same shit. Sweaters, T-shirts, coffee cups, mouse pads, whatever you want. I can make something. Okay? So, but yeah. Finish up with Kyle.
Doing the fullback position that they use him at, and just his competitiveness. He never backs down. They were down some receivers this week with just reps, which means you got to do scout team, and you also got to go in with the regular team, which can kill a guy, and you never hear him complain. He just keeps going.
You guys have won 5 in a row here now, so do you sense that home field advantage that teams always want?
I always sense home field.
talking about our home field advantage, not just against the Rams, but against all teams. We won 5 games in a row at home, dating back to last season. That's not counting the preseason, obviously. But yes, excellent point. The media are sinking their claws in if we lose to LA. If we lose to Inglewood, the media is going to get on his ass. If we go to 1-3, they're going to be looking at him. It's likely going to be because number 10 played bad. That's going to be first. He didn't play up to his outstanding standards that all of us faithful, or some of us faithful, let me not disrespect some of you, that some of us faithful have for him. So when they fall off the platform, Kyle and Jimmy, this Monday together, the media, and this right here, if you can see this, the mouse going around it, us, go to 1-3 and see what happens to y'all. The two of you specifically, you two bosom buddies who aren't buddies at all. Go to 1-3. This lady cussing outside my window right now. I'm gonna cuss her out or her man out if she doesn't shut the hell up. But yeah, go to 1-3 and see what we do to y'all. Go to 49ers Twitter Monday night at 8:30, whether we win or lose. And go to my Twitter at BamBamLLD. I appreciate you.
I think home field advantage has to do with one thing. It has to do with the other team can't jump off the ball as fast. That's why I believe that home field advantage is a realer in football than most sports. Not that I know a lot about other sports, but that's what makes sense to me because cadence is a big deal. And when you can't hear the quarterback, it does always give the other team an advantage. I think our stadium's been real loud, and every time we play in our stadium, we feel we have an advantage.
All right, guys. Appreciate it.
All right, thanks, guys.
What's the status with Kinley?
Thanks for that, Kyle. He's so boring. Oh, the home field advantage means that the defensive line can't hear the quarterback. It's not that it gets wild, it gets crazy. Our fans get loud behind us. It means that we're playing great. And then the defense, the home field advantage always helps the defense out. And our defense goes nuts when our crowd gets behind them. So make sure you're doing that this Monday, faithful. All right, guys, thanks. Nope. Yeah, home field advantage. It's always good to have home field advantage. It makes sure that the defensive line can't hear the quarterback can't hear the offensive line and blah, 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 blah. It's so boring, just like our offense is boring. He's just so dry, so bland. And then his quarterback is just a simp, like a whisper in the wind. I don't know, Niner. His quarterback's just like a whisper in the wind and shit. He's just walking around ho-hum all the time. He's a faking ass simp. That's what he is. He's fake. The quarterback is fake. He's a slickster. He's a shyster. Like a San Francisco pimp. He came to the right team. He's from Chicago, but he's like just a tennis shoe talking pimp from San Francisco, from the Bay, like my grandfather was. Literally, he wasn't a tennis shoe pimp though. I know that, but he was a pimp from San Francisco. And Jimmy got all the answers just like a pimp does. No matter, even when you see it right in front of you, and there's literally no denying it. Take it to your grave. That's what a pimp does. Talk your way. Just say some shit and then just stop talking. Just say something and then just stop. And it doesn't even matter if you really answered the question. If you really addressed what was put upon you, it doesn't matter. Jimmy is a pimp. That's why he plays for the 49ers. So thank you so much. Hopefully we pimped this stream together today, folks. I sincerely appreciate it. Kyle and Jimmy, James, Richard Garoppolo. Every single game, you're on a platform together. And you need to be walking side by side on that platform, just like we all did on this stream today. If one of you looks to go astray, then you affect everybody else behind you, which is the fucking 49ers team and all of us faithful. So you two need to get it together, and you need to get it together in 46 hours max. 46 hours max. Hopefully Kyle Shanahan and James Richard Garoppolo are like this instead of like this. And folks, thank you so much for hanging with me today. like the video, share the video around, subscribe to the channel if you enjoy. I'm really not sure why you wouldn't. I let you see, videos from them, and I did my best as well. So hopefully you're having a great weekend. Take care of yourself. Niner Ganger, don't bang. Bang, bang, Niner Gang, no matter what. No matter how Kyle and Jimmy act together like two teenagers, or in some cases like a father and the teenage son, and the son is mad at the dad, and he's just acting out constantly. He doesn't listen to anything that his father says, and his dad just constantly makes excuses for him like in a public or in the neighborhood. Romello Ball says, if you look at when Trey was starting as a quarterback, he was happier. Yep, here we go. Just look at the pictures on the internet. Just Google Kyle Shanahan, Trey Lance. You don't even got to put an "and" or anything. I promise you. Do this. Google after the stream, after we're off. Google Kyle Shanahan, Trey Lance, and look at all of the pictures. Just put it in your mind. Download some if you want, and then Google Kyle Shanahan, James. Okay, put Jimmy Garoppolo or Jimmy G, and look at the difference. Look at his face. Look at what he's doing. Look at what he's doing to Trey. Look at what he's doing to Jimmy. I promise you. Romello says, if he was starting the quarterback, he was happier. Shaved, took pictures with the fans, spoke louder, and now that Jimmy's back, he looks 30 years older, low talking, and angry all the time. Subscribe to see more of Kyle low talking and angry all the time. Now he's in a press conference like this. He knows the questions that are coming. He said, yes. Shout out to everybody, Niner by Nature. Romello, it's Tia, John, Kimberly's in the building, and Kyle and James are in the building. Hopefully they can just get along. Can't the two of you just get along? We need it to. They can't stand each other. Let's put it up one time before we go. Please hit that like button before we go. On the way out, subscribe to the channel if you're new. Hopefully you enjoy. We're just trying to give you some 49ers content, get the discussion out there. Let all of us get a chance to just therapeutic with each other. I just made that word up. Just therapeutic with each other over Kyle and James and how lame that they both are. But thank you so much for watching. Hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel. Share it around on your social media. Y'all be safe.